Hi everyone, Skeech here, looking at a fun little Void Drummer Haunting Scream brew today. So Haunting Scream, play a unit with cost 4 or less from the Void, gains charge and flying, sacrifice at the end of turn, pairs nicely with Void Drummer, 3 mana 2/2 unblockable, who when it attacks gives units in your Void +2/+2. So Haunting Scream might be my favourite card in Eternal. I've had a lot of fun playing with it in all different kinds of decks over the last 2 years. And Void Drummer is a new one that I'm trying out over the last few days. Radiance and Wisps in Eternal are in a weird place at the moment. They have a lot of quote-unquote support within the tribe and a lot of interaction between the two unit types, but what they want to do is a bit spread out. Do they want to be go wide Wisps with running cards like Xenon Obelisk alongside them? Is it a kind of a lifesteal deck? Are you going all the way up to 7 and 9 mana? 7 and 9 power, rather. For this list, we're hedging more into the Graveyard Recursion style build, and having quite a bit of fun with that. So, the core of the list is our Haunting Scream, our Void Drummer. For 1-drops, we have 4 Pathflighters and 4 Spike Feeders. Spike Feeder is a nice little evasive unit that fuels your bin. And Pathfighter might not be correct here anymore. It used to be 4 Pathfighter and 4 Metotic Wisp, which together give you a nice Radiant cost reduction package, which puts your Umbran Reaper and Shadowlands Tyrant at least costing 4, which allows them to be screened. So I'm not quite sure that Pathfighter is worth the slot here without Mitotic Wisp. I found Wisp a bit too clunky, a bit too slow, a bit too not what I wanted to be doing. So we're still playing around with that. We have 4 Dusk Raider here to draw some cards and give our units that care about attacking, like Void Drummer and Shadowlands Tyrant Berserk, which is pretty excellent. The 3 IN here, this is kind of a stabilizer, and the ultimate is pretty nice here. If we can get some Void Drumming hits on some of our, say, Ephemeral Wisps, or Spike Feeders, or anything really, being able to pull them out in the later game with IR to make them even bigger is a bit fun. Nocturnal Observer, a bit more card draw here. I don't mind her at all, alongside Haunting Scream. Soulbringer might actually be the best card in this list, which makes me laugh, because he's a bit unassuming, but a conditional reanimate staple to a body is still a reanimate. The tribute is quite tricky to trigger, I have found, but often you're casting Soulbringer to bring back a hasty charging, charging flying unblockable Void Drummer, or a 14/14 flying Spike Feeder. So these kinds of units are not bad to cheat back out. Shadowlands Tyrant in the top is a very powerful card, and another one that you don't mind giving stuff like Berserk or Charge if you're able to. You've got some Annihilates and some In Cold Bloods to kind of keep us from dying immediately, and then your reanimation package, Dark Return, Haunting Scream, and the one-off Grasping Shadows in the market. I'm not sure at the Banish and the Cerso's Cleaver in the market here. I think I'm hedging more and more to a consistency market. Originally this was a more sideboard market, but I think going consistency might be the better way for it. So I'm playing around with this still. Anyway, let's get to the game, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, cool. Here we are in game 1 against our opponent Motig. This hand is not great. No shadow in particular. I don't think we can keep this. Okay, this is much better. Crest of Mystery is possibly the best turn 1 play that I've found. And it opens us up to a lot of flexibility in the second and third turns. As much as I'm enjoying fiddling around with this brew, I am sticking more and more to try and make it more consistent, because at the moment it is certainly not that. Riding that line between synergy and good cards, actually impactful cards, can be quite difficult. Additionally, all our units are quite small, so you can have trouble with relic weapons. But hitting the Ephemeral Wisp there is quite nice. We can start, hopefully we can get one of these Void Drummers to stick, and then start buffing up our Ephemeral Wisps and our smaller Pathlighter and Spite Feeder. Getting these two 1-drop Wisps this early in the game is quite useful as well, because it's going to turn on any of our larger Radiants that we draw later. The 4 power 3/3. I don't particularly love doing this, but this isn't the worst thing in the world in cold-blooding this Whirling duo here. And it does keep the aggression off. We're not dealing with this sort of Icaria in a rush, but they're not doing anything in turn for a bit. Okay, Tyrant there off the top is quite nice. I think I might slow roll this and just keep running out this Ephemeral Wisp. I don't particularly want to just run a Void Drummer into this sword, but I don't mind 2-fawning myself with sword plus, say, a torch on this Tyrant. So I have considered Mitotic Wisp in this list as well, the 3 mana 0/3 that makes your Radiance cost 1 less with a mostly irrelevant ultimate. It does play quite cutely in you can be able to make your Shadowlands Tyrant a 4-cost unit more consistently, but it's not. I haven't been super impressed with it. So here we can just run out our Soulbringer, which can get back any of our Wisps that we've got in the bin so far. So you can see how this interaction would play quite nicely if you buff these units up a little bit with Void Drummer. Here I'm going to grab the Spite Feeder and fuel our bin a bit more. Spite Feeder can either take the damage of the Sword of Icaria and deal with that, or trade off with this Crown Watch Paladin. Soulbringer very likely to eat a torch here perhaps, or the sword. There we go. And if opponent just wants to swing in there, I will take it. Ah, Ornate Katana. That's cool. Katana with the Warcry buff on it is not nothing. We could be in a bit of trouble here. Yeah, we'll just take that, whatever. So this isn't looking good. But, you know, we will keep fighting a good fight. Let's Nightfall, get our Wisp back, crunch in for 1. Now we've got 6 power, we're going to run out both Void Drummers here and see how we go. We might be able to get in with a hit, we might not. I could see an argument for running out Shadowlands Tyrant in that prior turn, but I wasn't too keen on trading the Shadowlands Tyrant there solely for the buffed Sword of Icaria. More Warcrides here is a bit disappointing, but we'll just chump and see what the opponent runs out. Navani. That's fun. That's spicy. I haven't seen Navani in a long time. Okay, so our draws are shaping up pretty nicely here. Can we get the attack in? We can. Fantastic. So now we've got a buff on all the units in our Void, and now we're going to be able to start getting quite cute with Ephemeral Wisps and Tyrants. We missed the 1 damage there with the Spite Feeder, but that's okay. Minotaur Grunt, okay. So opponent's on some kind of well, they've got Navani. This is Navani's. It seems to me more likely to be a like fun splash of the card they own rather than a kind of a meta or tier choice. The Minotaur Grunt here makes me think they might be on a kind of more just fun budget brew. And going all in on the katanas as well is pretty nice. Okay. Dusk Raider here is pretty nice because we will get to draw another card out of it. I'm going to attack with both these guys here. I'm going to block with this? Yeah, I might end up throwing Spiderfiender under the bus here. I'm going to attack with both, deal 1 damage to this grunt, so that they wish to do the trade-off here. I'll get my 2 for 1 with their weapon. They've drawn a card now, so it's 1 for 1? Possibly? Okay, sweet, that's kind of the trade we were expecting there, but we don't hate that. We just want to keep our life total nice and healthy. I think our late game is much better than theirs, unless their deck is running some surprise Icarias, which is something to consider. We'll just run everything out here. I do not think opponent is running Harsh Rule. If they are, that will just be game, but I do not think they're running it in their kind of all-in Katana aggro deck. And so another Navani attack here. She doesn't have quick draw, which is nice. I will just take it. Will I? We'll just chump this turn and see how we go without drawing next turn. We're going to get 2 cards off the Nightfall. This is my main issue with this deck at the moment, is that people generally do not want to kill your Void Drummers, which is nice because you want them to attack. But getting the deck consistent enough that you're able to fish out your buffed up units is something I'm still fiddling with and having a bit of trouble with. So we'll attack with both here. Void Drummers unblockable. This is going to kill this regardless, so we'll pop the Aegis here. Buffs our Void a bit more. Okay, I don't mind that at all. We've got the attack in already. Okay, I don't hate that. I would much prefer the defensive pumps here rather than the aggressive ones. So just keep running everything out. Our Ephemeral Wisp is comically large now, so that's pretty great. And is this the Berserk Void Drummer? Sweet, and this Void Drummer has Berserk. So our future attacks are going to get quite silly. I was running a Falchion, a Lethrai Falchion in the market for a while, for more or less this situation where you end up racing with an unblockable Berserker. But I opted out of that in the end. So we'll get our 4 in here, we'll trigger Nightfall. This 9/9 is not a problem, but we'll play it out. Okay, Sword of Icaria, that's quite large, but it can't take out our biggest blocker. Importantly, I think this Wisp is holding back everything else opponent can throw at us. What is the... Okay, this is a great draw. I'm not sure what the best card to pull here. Look, it's probably Cerso's Cleaver. The next turn. I don't think we just die. We might just die. Okay, so what have we got here? We have some very large lifesteal units, but they might be a bit slow. You know, let's just go for the value play. We're going to swap out this crest for Grasping at Shadows. We're going to play that to get our 14/13 Soulbringer, which is going to get us a 7/7 flyer. Thanks, opponent. I do appreciate that. And yeah, let's force a... I think opponent probably wants to keep their sword here. Yeah, okay, that's fine by me. So I can see arguments for a few different lines there. I was initially quite liking the Cleaver, marketing for the cleaver there, but I was concerned about dying on the crackback if I didn't grow out my board. I wonder how long opponent has had that Vanquish in hand, or if they just drew it. Okay, that seems fine by me. So we're basically back to where we were. They can only attack. Okay, they've still got the swim here. I think we do seek the 2-for-1 here. Blocking either of these puts our Spite Feeder in range of Torch or Sword of Icaria. We are forced to jump here. We'll take this. But if they finish it off with the sword, they do take quite a bit of damage in response. So we're definitely on the back foot here, but we have a few draws. That is quite a good one, for example. Soulbringer might have been the best draw we could have got there, just because it makes 2 bodies, and one of them is huge. Alright, we'll force their hand. Alright, this gives us 2 blockers. One of them is unblockable, so... Is that a good game? It is. Okay, fantastic. That went pretty well. So you can see with this, the pros and cons with this deck, right? It is inconsistent, but it is fun. You do get to play around with Void Drummer. We didn't really see much Haunting Scream action in that game, but you can see there is a little bit of late game inevitability there if you're able to get those Soulbringers. Soulbringers? Yes, if you're able to get the Soulbringers going, triggering Tribute on these guys is quite difficult. Tribute does not play very nicely with Haunting Scream because the creature is sacrificed at end of turn. So this is something I'm still playing with as well. I should have mentioned earlier as well, the one of Umbran Reaper here is very much a flex slot. In the same way the 3 Ions are, just playing around with different combinations of stabilizers and threats to give a little bit of power to the deck where it's losing power paying these, like, you know, dinky 1 mana 1/1s. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting, and I'll talk to you later.